The member for Kennedy has the call.
Prime Minister, what action is being taken to secure national sovereignty over the only Panamax port facility in Northern Australia, Darwin? Has Australia already suffered a $39 billion punishment for expressing an opinion questioning COVID's origins? Is not China's global switch still holding national defence data, controlling and/or owning 43% of Australia's electricity industry and 100% of our solar electricity supply, a further 25% monopoly of solar electricity? 93% of our petrol and diesel is imported from Singapore and South Korea, countries beholden to China. What action national security, Prime Minister?
The Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, and the Treasurer may wish to add to the answer in relation to the activities of the Foreign Investment Review Board, Mr. Speaker. But this government has introduced the strongest foreign investment rules, Mr. Speaker, of any government. And this government has said no, Mr. Speaker, to many proposals that we believe would compromise Australia's national security. And the ones that you refer to, Mr. Speaker, particularly the one that is referred to, Mr. Speaker, by the member in Northern Australia is currently the subject of a further assessment being undertaken by the Department of Defence. Now, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to protecting our national security, what you have to be conscious of is that you have to be prepared to make the investments in your national security that can keep Australians safe. And that's why, as a government, we have overachieved when it comes to restoring our investment in our defence forces and their capability, more than 2% of our GDP, the size of our economy. We are now investing in our defence capability. In addition to that, we have restored the investments in the Australian Federal Police and our other security intelligence agencies so we can keep a close watch and take action wherever we need to, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that Australia is protected from whether it's the threat of organised crime, counter-terrorism, Mr. Speaker, and the emergence, as we've seen over the last many years, in relation to right-wing extremism and other forms of extremism in this country. Just last week, Mr. Speaker, we took the decision to list Hezbollah as a full terrorist organisation, Mr. Speaker, and this goes further to our resolve to address these issues of national security. We have taken strong stands against those who have sought to coerce us. We have said things and we have rejected decisions, Mr. Speaker, that they would have us to make. And we have stood up night and day, Mr. Speaker. We have called out the issues that need to be called out in our part of the world. We've worked closely with our partners and our allies to ensure that we have the capability to defend Australia's interests in our part of the world. And the AUKUS agreement, Mr. Speaker, has been one of the most significant, if not the most significant, working together with the United States and the United Kingdom to ensure that Australia is working with our closest partners and allies to have the capabilities we need to defend Australia, Mr. Speaker, defend Australia in the face of the instability we know to be present in the Indo-Pacific region. Now, it took our government, Mr. Speaker, to do that. It took our government to invest in our defence capability. It took our government, Mr. Speaker, to stand up to those who would seek to coerce us. We didn't have an each-way bet on national security on this side of the House, Mr. Speaker. We have always stood up strongly to those who would seek to coerce. Others may wish to appease. Our government will always stand up to those who would seek to coerce Australia.
The member for Leichhardt has the call. Order.